Hello, welcome back to Chill Feel Gaming. Some call it the chillest channel around. If you're looking for more high energy gaming, maybe that's a different channel that you watch, but come back here when you're ready to kind of chill out. We're gonna keep it chill. I'm new at this. Leave in the comments something about Universe Sandbox that will blow my mind. Something that I need to know that I don't know. That would be great, thank you. Subscribe, like, let me know how it could be better. My dog is chewing on a treat. We're kind of in a chill mode. I got a candle lit. It's drizzly outside. It's raining a little bit. We got a slow down kind of a vibe going, and I hope you're feeling that way too. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so I was looking at one of the lessons that they had here, coloring objects and trails. It just got me thinking about some things that I want to talk to you about. Coloring objects and trails, we're going to start here. Coloring objects and trails by their mass, acceleration, and velocity is more than just a nice visual touch, which is good because the current colors that they're using are pretty bland. So it's also a great way to gain another perspective on orbital physics. Next. All right, so it's wanting me to click velocity, and it's going to show, based on the color, how fast things are going. It's easy to see that the objects orbiting closer to the sun are moving faster. Mercury is red, and Eris, one of the objects furthest out in the simulation, is blue. You could set colors in any simulation. Fragments and particles are also colored, so be sure to try out with collisions and rings, and we will. But one of the things that I wanted to take a look at is I was looking here at more options. We're looking here at our solar system. I wanted to click this habitable zone. And it also seems to coordinate well with those colors of our solar system. I want to talk a little bit about this. This is kind of cool, especially when you look at it from this bird's eye view. This nice little circle coming out from the sun. The hot part is it's just too hot to live. The green part is right where we want to be and is right where Earth and Mars are. Mostly, definitely Earth, mostly Mars. Sometimes Mars gets over here on the blue, and the blue is just too cold. But something that seems very, a little alarming that I guess I didn't really realize, and I wonder if you did too, is that we are kind of near the red here. We're near this red zone where it's just kind of too hot to live. Venus is too hot to live. Venus has a lot of other gases and things that make it just actually the hottest planet, hotter than Mercury. And the Earth feels right on the edge of this red. And it's a little concerning because it feels like, boy, we're not too far from certain doom. The sun, as it gets older, will expand and get bigger. And as it does, this red ring will also expand. Now, in the grand scheme of things, the sun getting too large for this red zone to burn up Earth is like a billion or so years away. It's a long ways away. But in the grand scheme of the age of the universe, it feels very kind of soon. And so you can see a little bit more the reason why some people on our Earth want to see what's next out in our solar system, which is Mars. Mars would be a place of refuge. If the red gets bigger and the green gets bigger, then the areas of Mars, see Mars getting a little blue here, then it will be in the green. In fact, the future of Mars in this green zone looks pretty good for quite a while. So as we are looking to the distant future, looking towards hope for a better distant future in the way of these habitable zones, Earth begins to look a little less good and Mars looks much more appealing. And so people are trying to get off Earth and onto Mars, hopefully. And so that gives people some hope. Now, you got to line things up because now where Earth is here would not be a good time to go to Mars because it's so far away. You would want to line it up where the orbits are right next to each other, and ideally over here where it would definitely be not as far of a distance to travel. But it also gives an interesting perspective that even though Venus is the next closest one orbitally to Earth, like right now, Mars is closer than Venus. And here, there's a whole sun between Venus and Earth. And so it gives a little more perspective this way because when we look at things on a linear path, we go, okay, it goes Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. But not always, right? So when we change things up and we look at things how they really are, what's real is a little sometimes deceiving. whereas we could be closer to Mars than even Mercury at times. So everything, you have to keep all that in mind. If we remember, one time around the sun is a year. So we want to line things up in order to figure out when is the best time to hop over to Mars, if that's even possible. But what I like more about all this is we just gain even a bigger perspective as we zoom out. And what this teaches me about our solar system, and this is a very beautiful simulation. Colors wise, it's beautiful. We could see kind of the speed at which things are experiencing their year. Okay, Mercury experiences a pretty quick year as opposed to Jupiter. Mercury will go around a year and Jupiter will move about this far. And so the year for Jupiter is a lot longer, and even longer for Saturn over here. And if we go back even further, we're looking for Uranus and Neptune. You see Uranus here, and that's still not even the furthest major planet. Neptune over here. So that is far, they are dark blue, they are cold, and they are slow years out here. And so one of the things that I find interesting as I think about the solar system as a system, I like to think of it as kind of like a team. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Jupiter, for instance, Jupiter is so big that its gravity alters kind of rogue objects. So if, say, an asteroid or whatever is coming this way towards Earth, we love Jupiter actually because it's so big that it will alter the direction. So if something is coming in the trajectory to ram into Earth, it comes near Jupiter, and Jupiter's gravitational pull swings it, as you can see my cursor, swings it this way, and sometimes we'll just like pull it right into Jupiter and just take one for the team. So that's kind of what I think of Jupiter, is like someone who is willing to kind of take one for the team, maybe go to bat. And we're grateful to Jupiter for that, because there's maybe many times Earth would have gotten demolished were it not for Jupiter. But we have Jupiter kind of protecting us in that way, kind of being this older, wiser, more experienced person floating in our system, in our team, and taking one for the team, going to bat for us sometimes. And then I think about other people like Mars. Mars, the kind of person in my life, might be a place of refuge, might be a place of safety, might be a place to say, hey, come out, come hang out if you need some rest, if you need to vent. Mars is a good place to be, because as life gets heated up, as maybe the sun grows, Mars will always be in this green zone for a very long time, much more in this green zone than we will be in the distant foreseeable future. So Mars is a place of refuge, and it is a good one to have on the team. We see other people maybe on our team that move a little quicker, that maybe inspire us because they're doing a lot of things and they are up against the heat. They're learning as they go, and they're not really afraid. They're fearless, you know, and Venus is kind of that as well. Venus, when we look at Venus, we learn about Earth's future, right? What it would do to Earth to be this close to the sun. What Earth, another rocky planet, might turn into were at the location that Venus is. So we definitely learn from Venus. Venus is at a place in which we are headed, and Venus offers us some wisdom in that. Venus is very relatable to us because it's very close to us. We can see where we're headed. We see our future, and Venus is present. So Venus is another good person to have on the team. And it's a relatively near future. So someone not too far down the road. And then Mercury is just someone who's just kind of like just going. But also someone who might be really inspiring, but also someone who might be life draining a little bit as well, because they're going so fast and they're so heated a lot of the time. So truly, the solar system here, we can view as a team. It's really interesting to equate this to our own life. Like, what sort of people do you have in your life that, like Mars, you can find refuge? If you need to hop over and kind of rest with someone that offers a place to kind of vent and just relax, that person is really important in our lives. Maybe Venus, someone who's a little further along in their journey, but you see yourself and you're wanting to get there as well and learn from. They have some experience. We can learn about our future based on their present, where they are right now. Mercury is someone who might inspire us to go quicker someday, or to try some things, or be, riskier, to be a little more fearless. And finally, do we have a Jupiter in our life? Someone whose voice may carry some weight. They're more of a sage or a wise guide, someone who's maybe carries a bigger presence that will take one for the team, maybe stand up for you, go to bat for you. Their voice carries a lot of weight. And again, someone who will take one for the team in that they're willing to call you out on some stuff. And they're willing for you to be mad at them for a little bit, but what they tell you is the truth and something that you need to hear. And this is not only a team, but it is a system of people in our lives that we need to put together. Whether or not the solar system is designed or by accident or whatever, the system we design in our own life is designed and has to be designed by us. And we have to put the work in. Otherwise, and here's another perspective thing that we're going to do here, is as we turn this, because right now everything kind of looks on the same plane. But if we don't have that team kind of keeping us on a plane, keeping us sane, and our gravity interacting with their gravity, because the truth is, yes, the sun is keeping us here, but also the Earth's gravity interacts with Mars' gravity, interacts with Venus' gravity, Jupiter's even, and it keeps us on the same plane. If we don't keep a system, then we're kind of more like this guy, if we're thinking metaphorically. And don't be this guy. Pallas or whatever. If I said it wrong, let me know in the comments. I won't get offended. Pallas is on his own trajectory. He's kind of going his own way. And I feel like there's more variables at play. Not only are you dealing with things on this plane, but you're dealing with things up and down as well. And the asteroid belt and everything. The asteroid belt, there's a lot going. Like there's things going up, there's things going down. They're on their different plane here. And as we look here, and this is kind of pleasing, it's satisfying to see the different planes of things. Not everything is on the same plane, except the major planets are pretty close. But this guy, don't be this guy. Because when we don't have a lot of things kind of keeping us in balance with each other, if we don't have a team or a system that we've built, we're kind of on our own. We get a little cold, we get a little hot, and there's no one to kind of regulate us and keep us sane, keep us safe, to help go to bat for us. I just feel like it's more likely, I could be wrong, but this guy's going to get hit by something that's more life-altering, more life-ending maybe even than us right here. We have other things kind of keeping us safe. We do have this protection around here, kind of a larger community, whatever that is. Maybe it's your kind of inner circle of friends. Maybe it's some relationships from school. Maybe it's church that kind of help with, they might not be very close to you, but they're people that are surrounded by you just because you guys share in a shared activity together, and they kind of help protect you from some rogue objects that might destroy you. But including someone like Jupiter in your system that helps direct kind of the rogue objects and keep you safe. It's good to have it all. It's good to build a system on your same plane that's going to keep you safe and protected and stable. That is what we want in our lives. So how does this relate to your life? I want to know that. Leave it in the comments if this was helpful, and I want to hear about it. And as the music slows down and as how I scroll kind of slows down, let's just kind of be thinking about that. Let's let our mind be thinking about the people who represent these planets in our life. Who could we ask to be part of our system, part of our team? Who do we want to learn from? Who do we want to offer to be part of their team? Because the reality is, like I said before, our gravities play with each other. This is important to me because this morning I had a hard morning. And I woke up with some unrealistic expectations of myself. My wife, who's part of my system, part of my team, kind of got pulled in. So if I was like Venus, I was a little heated this morning, and my wife being Earth, my gravity was a lot bigger than it usually is, and it pulled her in and she got burned. And I was mean, and that was one thing. As she has decided to be a part of my team and I a part of hers, that's kind of what we signed up for a little bit, and it is a healthy relationship within reason and balance. So she is able to tell me, hey, that hurt, and that was not good. And I was able to see it and apologize. And that's part of it. That's part of what makes building a system and a team so scary as well, is we're inviting other people into our lives where we might burn them, or they might be in our lives where they might burn us. And are we willing to be on the same plane and in the same orbit enough to say, that's okay, because I see the value you bring into my life and you see the value I bring into your life. And we can burn each other every once in a while, as long as we apologize and get back to the green where it's habitable, and that we can find life and help each other out. Maybe it's find some refuge, pull people out of the heat, and they do that. And sometimes maybe you don't want that, and you can't force anyone out there, but maybe it's helpful to get reminded of, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to be this guy, Palace, just kind of going his own way, doing his own thing, and not part of much of a team, it feels like to me. And so, of course, yes, this is all part of the same system, whatever, but you get the idea, you get the picture. So what is that to you? Are you that person? How can you be more in a healthy, stable system filled with relationships that sometimes are good for you and sometimes burn you? It's a mixed bag, and that's what we all are. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope this was helpful to you. Come on back and leave in the comments how it was helpful to you. I want to read them. I care about those. They will help me as I think about the trajectory of this channel. I'm welcoming your gravitational pull, and I hope that I can be a little bit of that to you. In a way, this channel is its own system, its own team, and we're developing that right now. So you are part of it, and you are part of it early. I'm so grateful for that. So thank you. Keep coming back, and we'll do more of this kind of stuff if you like it. Leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you later. Keep it chill. Bye.